My name is Neville York, and I'm a musician, artist, and a cultural entrepreneur, and that's what I do for a living. The arts in the Plaza Festival is very important to St. Martin from different perspectives. One, from a cultural perspective, it gives the artist a venue to express something that he cannot express at a bar, for example. So it's not music that you're going to be hearing at a bar or nightclub. This is truly an evening where artists can express themselves in the purest and the most form that is true to themselves. What's beautiful about the festival here at Porto Kupukoi is that it's aiming at that style of music that's on the cutting edge and that's sort of a high caliber standing. So you get a lot of mixture of influences, jazz with Latin, a cross-fertilization of classical music, and all coming together as one. And this is a reflection of the beauty and the spirit and the energy of the people of St. Martin.
Good evening. On behalf of government, I would like to say that this evening, this tribute, this not very wakeful wake, this awake, as Clara called it once, and when we were discussing with the family how we could assist, how we could collaborate, I said we have to do it in a bigger place than where we were last time because I know people are going to come. And I want us to celebrate Neville's life and Neville's legacy and everything that he stood for. And I think a lot of it was seen here today. Maybe this isn't what you expected, but in discussing with the ministry also, we said we have to allow the St. Martin people, but especially Neville's wife and family, to know what he is for St. Martin. And I don't know if Neville knew, but somehow, somewhere, he's out there, his spirit's soaring, and he's playing pan, and he's enjoying everything that is here today. And we're just sitting there saying, okay, how are we going to do this again and again? Because this is just the beginning. I think his spirit will live on through what will come after this. And so as government, I must say that even though we do not or have not in the past done enough for culture, Neville was always the one that fought for culture, and we will continue to fight in his name. It's not over yet, so we'll continue to enjoy all of the artists. I want to thank them all. I want to thank his staff and all of the ministry, within the ministry, and those even in other ministries, and just all the artists that have come out here tonight to show what Neville means to them. And it warms my heart, and I know that it warms yours, Veronica. I know that it warms yours, Idris, and Fred, Churchy, and all of the others. I am so happy to be a part of this, that we can commemorate someone. And my only regret is that he's not physically understanding what he meant to us. But somehow or another, I think with faith and God and understanding the spirit world, he does. And I'm going to, that's the only way I can continue, is that knowing that he does, with every pan that plays, every child that learns, every musician that gets an opportunity, every spoken word artist that come up here and dance, and whatever the case may be, he knows that what he has done is bearing fruit. So thank you, and enjoy the rest. And on Tuesday, we will continue to celebrate his life to the best of our ability, and we will look forward to collaborating even more with the family in the future. Thank you for allowing us to be part of Neville's life. Thank you.
pass my way. Oh, on this lovely day, I'll be down by the river, singing songs of joy on this lovely day. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, na 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 na. Yeah. Oh, oh, na 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 na. Trouble bass. Now let me tell you something about my brother Neville. Neville, silent and deadly. Silent and deadly. Everything with Neville. He crossed his T's and dot his I's and everything with Neville. When I work with Neville, I never have to worry. Never have to worry. Neville is more than a friend, he's a brother, his family. Just in two words, silent and deadly. Silent and deadly. Yeah. When Neville tell you he got your back, he got your back. You know that. Yeah. By the rivers, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river. Oh, on this lovely day, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river. Ooh, I'll be there. Oh, on this lovely day, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river. Yeah, hey, that's where I'll be. Don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river, don't by the river.
We celebrate his life. We celebrate his memory. To the York family, I say here, strength, courage, because what we are seeing here tonight, in this moment tonight, we see, although in grief, we see great pride. We see honor. Honor for our unforgettable Neville. The day he died, St. Martin cried. The skies were gray and somber. As the rain poured down, the void was deeply felt. As the department head of culture, working with him was pleasant. I always observed and admired his calm and even temperament. Neville was so calm, I used to wonder why. He was not a man of many words. You would mostly get a smile. That was Neville. His music has put us all on the world map. Oh yes. Sweet pan music, so fine, so clean, with the ability to even sweeten salt. Neville was a musical giant. Music came out of his soul. Music flowed from him. He was music. And he has taken all this potential back to the Almighty, who gifted him with music. Jubilantly, he entered into the celestial paradise to join his beloved mother, the greatest reunion of mother and son that can ever be. What greater joy, what greater gift. Farewell, Neville. Ever calm, ever pleasant, never for, never against. Thank you.
blink of an eye, I realized that if I don't open my eyes, I might miss the culture. And right before all our eyes, before anyone could realize, we done and lost Mr. Culture. Well, as far as I knew him. But most of you know him best. And many of you knew him forever. And even more of you knew him for less. So I won't go on and pretend to know the depth of which Neville's life has been sown. But if I may add a few words to St. Martin's historical charts, it will say, we all have walked with giants in deeds and in our hearts. Thank you.
Now, ended here, and so it waits the final curtain. My friend, I say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I travel each and every highway, and oh, much more than this, I did it my way. Regret, I had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, and saw it all without exemption. I've lived a life that's full. I travel each and every highway, and oh, much more than this, I did it my way. For what is a man? What
to do this poem tribute to Neville. This one I wrote about 10 years ago, in 2010, that's about 7 years ago. It's called The Calling of Our Culture. All our cultural soldiers are dying. Like teardrops from the sun, you've enriched this land with your words and your song and your stories of us. From Ian to Yaya, who will be next? From this land is my land. That is so culturally starved. My land that is so economically driven. My land, yet so socially hungry. This land. Can you hear it in the winds? The chanting of our ancestors from Loki to Leslie to Tani, now Ian, now Yaya. Mama Yaya, her words would ring. Mama Yaya, their spirits now live in the winds that guide us, the next generation of playwrights, storytellers, folk poets, singers, painters, and dancers. Oh, sweet St. Martin land. Come, let me drink with guava berry, call Miss Elsie, let me light up the coal pot, call Father, let me light up the stone oven, bring the bomber tuffet, let me bake it, come eat your belly full, St. Martin. Come, let me dance the Panamanum, St. Martin, St. Martin. We cannot allow these whispers of our identity, of our people to fade away as they never were. We must engrave in the minds of generations to come the story of us, of our people, our culture, our heartbeat, with our stories, our voices, our imprint, our writings. As more of our advocates of culture are laid to rest, we must fight harder, arming our soldiers with wisdom, with their stories, of their glories. St. Martin culture is calling you, Esther Bradshaw. St. Martin culture is calling you, Clara. St. Martin's culture is calling you, Lorenzo Versatile. St. Martin culture is calling you. From Louis to Houston to Lena to Dion to Tammy to Lizanne, Lake, Sean, Renee, violinist. Come dancers, dance on them. From Randolph to Adimar to Joseph. For buried are the tales of our history. Under the stones lay decayed bones of 100 years of hair, 100 years of tears, 100 years of our fight to be here. Rest in peace, Ian. Rest in peace, Yaya. Rest in peace, Kamoy. Rest in peace, Neville. Rise up, St. Martin people, for we shall fight to the death, for our culture could never be slain.